sir.
With all those surrounding subjects that we had to deal with, from the IVCs,
Watergates, in hoods.
because during the house parties, these dudes would trickle down into the neighborhood.
And
we were kids.
And you might have to sprinkle in though to try to get over.
But look how bad it was.
Sneak in.
We kids, dude, they in cars. They're driving. They probably would, just Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
No.
They were driving down there,
some of those families, them kids, their families had money.
Yeah.
Those were middle class neighborhoods.
But I think his point is that these cats was of the age to get that.
Right. They were older cats. We were like 12, 13, 11. These cats were like 17, 18, 19, 20.
But the funny part is as you say it, is that all the families in Inglewood wasn't, in a position where they weren't doing okay.
Exactly.
At least at that time.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to say everybody was doing great.
And 80s.
Yeah, because
we were eating.
That's what I was telling you how the middle class kind of flourished. I was telling you that.
Fam, we wasn't rich.
We thought y'all was.
But we
me and Ronnie thought y'all was. No, because y'all had the nice house. It was a newer house.
We was rich in love. They was getting everything, So the family, unity. Because remember we had the sisters that everybody was trying to poke at. Remember that?
Yeah, y'all had the beautiful sisters.
Beautiful.
And,
I'm looking at you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
With the Hamilton. Me Cole.
And so, we had the other look, so we seeing cats come through trying,
Your older sister was
shout out to y'all big sister, rest in the kids.
Kim.
Kim was like you guys' mom.
Yeah, she was like a mom figure.
Kim was like she was like the matriarch of you guys. Kim was just.
She was just like.
See, I met him when I was young, and I knew the Motown before you did.
Well, but I used to see him across the street.
Yeah, but
I was everywhere he went. I had to go to some parks.
But that's when I met them. Their dad, the two sisters. I only met you guys' mom maybe once or twice. I think she was kind of in and out. Am I wrong? Am I right?
She's solid though. I mean, because remember she had to fight the fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
And understand that when we first got there was still some white families there.
Yeah. Well, your mom fit right in.
Yeah. At that point. but remember where we came from though. We said earlier we came from the Jays.
Right.
Okay, so we from the Jays, and now she over here going, oh, who's this white?
Let me clarify this. Let me just clarify this, because there's some people that's going to see this, because I would hear it from time to time when they would describe, especially when they would describe Chris, being so talented, right?
Right.
They was like, man, that Spanish dude is good.
Okay.
And I'm like, he ain't Spanish, dude.
Oh, dude, look at me. It was
what I'm saying? And they was like, well, how's he so good? He's Spanish. And then of course, Ty came to high school, and it was the same thing. These dudes are Spanish. Like, they not Spanish, dude. So, what is your nationality? What is your ethnicity?
I mean, it's almost like
it's black, man.
It's a.
It's black.
So,
how you want to do it?
I mean, because
people want to know.
But my mom really believe y'all.
My mom is white.
Yep.
My mom is white. Yep. My dad is black.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the easy way to
And
put
then
it.
if you look at it, like, how people say, man, you need a strong black woman in your life. Man, I had a strong white woman in my life.
Right. Was your mom strong?
To me,
to
me, because what she did, she had to deal with. You got to imagine you marrying some black dude in the early 70s and this 60s. Is what 60s, and this is what you doing.
Right.
I was born in 69.
Right.
So what's she doing before that? 65.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she got to do it, and now you fighting that battle.
Right.
And
so
and I remember, and maybe I shouldn't talk about it, but I remember waiting for my sisters to pick them up from busing, because that was busing back then.
I remember I was getting
right. They busing, and then the police come up to the car. We in the car, and they going, "Ma'am, are you okay?"
Wow.
And my dad is in the car too.
Wow. I can believe that.
Like, are you being?
Is everything okay?
Did you get kidnapped?
Right.
And she like, we good, man. This is my husband.
This is my husband, right?
So, and beyond that, so we in the J's, and we live, in the community, so it's apartments, right? So, I don't remember that many white women in the community.
See, but you know what? What's funny is that you have to remember that The Jays was an all-white area.
I remember that at some point, yeah.
Nah,
very nice over there at one point.
No, it was cool.
No, back in the late 50s and all that, yeah.
Yeah, but we mid
the transition.
Right.
We mid 70s when we talking.
Right.
That's when things started transitioning.
Right.
So nobody wanted to live there no more. So everybody moved to Inglewood.
Right.
And then when we start seeing people move to Inglewood, that's when Torrance got real popular.
Torrance was always popular.
Yeah, that's when they kept pushing.
They already kept me.
And there was a push, but now when you look now, the push is coming back this way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they called that push now. It's called gentrification. That's what that push is called.
I got my opinions on that too.
Yeah. Inglewood, it costs a lot of money living in Inglewood.
Oh, I already know.
Oh yeah. Everything has spiked up.
Yes, if you live in Black Beverly Hills, you got
sir.
You were very smart buying your house when you did. That was the best investment in the world you did when you bought your house.
Okay, let me tell you this. Like me and my wife first got together, and she grew up in Baldwin Hills.
Okay. No. Yeah. So she. Nice. Right up the street.
Like right by the park. So for time to time we drive by like her parents' house, and they had like a basement. Like places in LA don't have a basement, but they had.
Back then they was.
Yeah, they had a 2,000 square foot basement underneath, but it was unfinished. So we drive by and I'm like, man, this is cool. So, like, when we get married, when we talk about getting married and all that kind of stuff, she was like, well, where you want to live? So I take her straight up to the avenues between 108th and 104th.
I remember that.
Okay.
So we go to the house, and I'm looking, and we stand in the backyard. You can, like, it's a clear day, so you can see the restaurant.
Yeah.
The LAX and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like, nah.
She was like, no.
She was like, nope, I do not.
I ain't feeling it.
I do not want to live over here.
Wow.
So one of the first major issues that we had
was the demographics in terms of where you guys want to live.
Yeah, I was like, I grew up right down the street. This is cool.
I'm an Inglewood guy.
I'm an Inglewood dude. I'm comfortable. You know what? I can walk down the street here and I have no problems.
Zero problem.
I know damn near everybody around here, somebody related to them.
Right.
So one day, we're driving around looking for a house, and the guy is showing us some places, and this is a guy that's flipping houses. Right. So he showed us a couple of places. He's like, hey, you know what?
I got something for you guys.
He said, this is a place I'm trying to get right here. Okay. He was like, but I can't get it. Okay. So he was like, they won't take my offer. This is like a Sunday. Okay. So he slipped up and said the name of the bank.
So this cat, right?
Look. He from Inglewood.
Hustle
game.
He from Inglewood.
No, so I'm thinking in my mind, I'm thinking of this house like 3 blocks over.
Oh, okay. So you weren't even thinking about that?
I wasn't even thinking about that house.
Okay.
I went to work, and at 2:30 that day, my wife said, I done put an offer in on this house, and we buying this house right here.
Wow.
Okay.
And so I was still mad because I wanted to live in Inglewood.
Wow.
Right.
I stayed.
But it ended up being like, when we talk about it now, it ended up, we talking about 1997.
You ain't got to tell me. I'm already knowing.
Yeah, so,
I'm already knowing. I know exactly.
So it ended up being a pretty good
investment. The year
perfect investment.
When I moved back to Inglewood, because I moved out, when I got married to a condo, and I moved in where I thought, people that had some money lived, over there behind like Briarwood and all. I was like, man, these cats got cash. They broke because I'm broke. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. But they doing cool. Yeah. And and with what's going on now, man, Inglewood is prospering, man.
Oh no.
Oh, it's
big time.
And
I'm excited.
It's always been an exciting, nice place. We were there when the transition, kind of went left, but it didn't damage the properties. The properties were still, on those hills and in those, manicured neighborhoods, and a lot of those black families didn't sell.
And that's what's great. And even in my
dudes that parents are still there.
Let me tell you this other thing, y'all, and this is another thing that people don't understand about Inglewood adjacent, Ladera. A lot of the Anglo people that lived there and moved, they didn't sell either.
No, they gave it to the kids.
They didn't sell.
It was renting.
Right.
They was renting.
Right.
You're right.
Right.
Same thing in that street.
Right.
So now,
that little area?
They're coming back.
Right.
You know that little area off of Hillcrest, like near the old House of Pancakes?
Yeah.
Man, them people didn't sell their house.
Oh no. That's black right over in there. It's been that way for the last probably 4 decades.
What I'm saying is, it goes back to what he's saying. Those Jewish owners and families that were there, they didn't sell. They was leasing.
Oh yeah, they was leasing, renting them out.
You know what?
And guess what that just did?
Yeah.
Like it did to me, and being, local to what's going on now. Man, they're making a ton of money.
Oh yeah.
But what I didn't like,
it's a great area, man.
Yeah, what I didn't like is, and I don't know if you guys will remember this, but I do because I was a resident.
I'm familiar
it was
with
on TV. They put this top 5 undesirable places. And this is right before they start talking about
Inglewood was on the list.
The stadium being built.
Right.
And then what they did was, what they was going to do was drive. They were going to drive the property values down. So maybe potentially they could do something similar to the words you used earlier. And try to do something there. But I'm glad most of the community stayed tapped. And they said that this is our community because it's that loyalty and that love for Inglewood that we can't lose.
Well, you know who started
coming from there?
You know who started with the giving Inglewood a bad name? Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Don't say it.
I'm gonna say it. Quentin Tarantino.
Did he?
Yeah.
He was he made a couple of movies and he was down in Inglewood. It was him. And that's why when a lot of people saw.
I get you.
See, when you start seeing people project that stuff on screen,
and then the videos,
and then you got square people who go see the movie who don't know nothing. Yeah. All they know is what they hear. They were putting Inglewood down, and I'm a guy that I defend Inglewood. You defend Inglewood. You defend it. And every time I hear we would put people in, they go, Inglewood, honey, that's not a bad area. Right. That's an upper middle class neighborhood. You can't even afford to go over in Inglewood. Right. Try it.
Yeah,
try to go to Inglewood and buy a house.
Yeah, get in there.
Try it.
Right.
You're going to pay over $700,000. You're not going over there.
When you see the prices in Inglewood, you're going to start looking in California yourself.
Trust me. You're going to end up going to Lancaster, Bombdale. Right. You're going to be like, how much? Yeah, that's how much we want.
Right.
And this is even prior to that stadium.
But they took a shot at us,
They took
a shot at us.
They always take a shot at Inglewood. They want to downplay. They don't even understand Inglewood is not that kind of area that they think.
And I was telling friends, man, let's hold up, man. This isn't true.
Yeah.
We got things going on here, man. There's a lot of positive things. They can, try to say what's going on in our communities and things that way, but talk about it now.
I got this one last question that I think that it'll be helpful to the viewing audience and to those that are listening. A lot of people don't realize that you both were not just outstanding athletes, but you were scholastic in achieving in that classroom. And even the stuff that you would do for me in high school, even being younger than I was, ensuring that I was going to make the grade. I was going to stay eligible. I was telling Charlie, this dude followed me to class almost like, go into that.
No, I got a story already. I know I'm about to tell you.
Let him ask the question at least.
No.
Let him at least ask the question.
Go ahead, then I'll ask the question.
I'm going to tell you this. And you know
what I read.
Hold on. No, I knew it was love between me and Hoop because Hoop was a quarterback.
I know.
He was a quarterback.
I know.
But I was the dude. And you know what? When I got to Morningside as a 9th grader, I still played Pop Warner.
I know. I remember.
So after the season was over, Hoop was like, "Hey, look, I'm just a regular dude.
Right.
You know what? Nobody really know who I am at the school. Other than hooping dudes that play,
people that really knew you. Because I used to come to y'all games in Lamita.
Yeah. So Hoop said, "I'm gonna introduce you to Coach Franklin."
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, well, I already know who he is.
Right.
He was like, nah.
I'm gonna really introduce you to Coach Franklin.
Yeah. So Hoop goes over, and this is when Coach Franklin was halfway coaching football too, with
right.
Coach Bell and all that.
Right.
So
right.
Coach Calhoun.
That's funny.
So
I love Coach Calhoun.
So Hoop walks me over to Coach Franklin and says like, "Hey, this gonna be your dude right here, right?" Coach Franklin looks at me like.
Right.
He's like, whatever.
Right. Because Frank didn't get all excited about nothing.
I mean, Coach Hall, you know, he's like looking like.
I was like, no, this.
He's like, Hoopie, why are you bringing this dude over here? You know what I'm saying? But to what Hoop is saying, like, you know, I don't want to say what Hoop did scholastically. Right. I mean, he could tell that story himself.
Right. Oh, everybody knows. I mean,
Hoop, everybody knows.
I mean,
we keep it 100 here, Chris.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
Chris, just show we keep it 100.
Okay, so we don't keep it 100.
Keep it a buck.
But you keep it like 97.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't trust you with that.
Hey, so Hoop was in a position where we like, okay, we do Hoop and all that. And really at this time, we looking at, you got a computer right here, but everybody didn't have a computer.
Right.
But the Drapers had a computer at their
Oh yeah, the Drapers. They got
they had one where you had to pull the edge off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you print it out.
The Drapers.
Yeah. Right.
So Deanna, who was my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, yeah, he did date Deanna.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man. I'm
that
telling
was
you,
my girl,
super solid chick.
No,
super solid.
Megan.
She was class 85. What
86.
Right, with
86.
Chris. Okay.
That was my girl.
86.
Yeah, I love Deanna.
Yeah.
So who?
That was my tutor.
Yeah. Who had a paper that was 5 pages long that he needed to type, but it was this thick.
Wow.
His letters he was writing on was like a kindergarten.
Wow.
So Hoop said, Deanna, I need you to type this paper for me, and I will give you $20 if you type this paper.
You remember that?
Hold on.
I gave her 5 up front.
So he
Who's I gave her 5 up front?
Wait a minute, so he
to this day I owe her 15.
Wait a minute. So she was like, yeah. But
5 was plenty back then.
But she was talking to me and she said, I don't trust Hoop.
She said that more time?
I don't trust Hoop. And people don't know that Hoop is an accomplished artist. He can draw.
Oh, you ain't got to tell me I'm his brother.
Yeah, look.
I already know.
So he had drew a picture of Michael Jordan on like a page like this big.
Right.
And the only thing that wasn't finished was his face.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So Deanna said,
oh man.
Okay, I'm gonna type this paper for you.
Okay.
Give me that picture.
I need to get this picture from you.
I need that.
I need to get this picture from you.
Okay.
And make sure you give me the rest of my
Wow.
How'd it go, Hoop? What'd you do?
The Draper still have that picture
I owe
today.
$15.
He still owes her $15.
Wow.
He still owes
I don't own the picture. They got the picture.
Just like nobody owns the right to this music.
Yeah, we don't own the right to
Hoop
this
does
music.
not own the rights to that picture.
Yeah.
You know, Eldon used to give me a hard time because we had chemistry together, right? I'm making up.
Miss Carol?
Miss Carol.
Everybody loves Miss Carol. I love Miss
Carol.
Carol.
You don't
Well, you
have
remember we was over there
chemistry
trying to get it.
Stupid time.
I was in love. I was like, oh, you teaching me?
Eldon used to always come into class and he's like, he come late, right? And he's like, she on him, Mr. Campbell, you need to get it together, and whatever. I know you kind of feel a little, uneasy about your height. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, you got this dude over here drawing for grade. I'm like, oh, you gonna go me up.
They would have done the Kobe and Shaq thing. They would have done Kobe and Shaq.
She defended me. She's like,
drawing for grade.
Business Campbell. And then he's sitting by, I'm like, oh, you just gonna throw me out.
They over there drawing for grade.
That's cold blood.
But those were the things that really, made it worth having the experience growing up the way we did.
Yeah,
because of camaraderie.
I love Inglewood, man. I love
y'all, man.
It was incredible.
You know that.
I mean, just to have you guys in here, I mean, I guess I'm gonna let Mac just finish it up. But.
Okay, I've been thinking about this. I want to just, for the viewers who don't know these guys, and for the people who who not Inglewood per se, and don't understand that we have thoroughbreds that come out of Inglewood, and we have very, very, we got doctors and lawyers and everything that come out of Inglewood. For the people who don't know, tell them where you guys went to college and tell them you guys' profession.
Well, I went to Sound Service, but didn't finish. I'm gonna give everybody all credit, but I'm currently at Costco doing, I would say, reasonably well.
Okay.
And what I do there, I've achieved, a lot of nice things there and doing handsomely. But
good.
I think that the things I've learned, both academically and socially, have kind of attributed to what I was able to do. I can put a lot of those things into work. Dealing with the dynamics of personalities, people, and how to interact, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, it's a wholesale, which is, you know, basically a retail business. I don't have that direct contact as I used to with every individual that walks in the building.
Right.
You know, but there is, you know, an opportunity for all of us. I mean, we got a lot of gyms, you know, coming from where we came from. There's a lot of gyms out there, man.
Yes,
and do not think that because someone doesn't think that your city is, you know, a place that you could excel or come from and you know, come out there and be on top of things that you can't. I mean, I'm not saying I'm on top, but I get definitely ain't where they think we at. And on the bottom.
So what about you, older, more time?
Yeah.
You know,
tell them what school you went to.
I'm just gonna start off. You know, I was a good student in high school. I also remember the day I left to go to school, and I went with Jason Carr. I went with another guy named Marcus Jackson, who was a friend of ours, played Pop Warner at LA Sheriffs. I remember the day I left, and I was really scared that day. And the reason why I was afraid, because I told my mom, I'm like, I can't come back here unless I finish school, because I know it was an expectation that people had of me because of some of the success I had in the classroom and all that kind of stuff. So I told her, you know, I'm not coming back to LA unless I got a degree. My mom started crying. You know, and we right in Jason Carr's driveway. And I don't want to give anybody, you know, my impression of, you know, when I was playing football, I was a throw-in for Jason Carr. Because Jason was a hell of a football.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But you know how they got on him, right?
Yeah.
Number 4.
He tooted his own horn.
24 before that, I think, or something like that.
No, he was a heck of an athlete.
I mean, he was a hell of a ball player.
He was.
And you know what? I just think it was a blessing that, you know, a guy like me, and even though I have a high level of confidence about what I was doing out there in the football field, but I'm also a realist. When you got a dude like Corey Brown, who was a consensus All-American,
Charles Jordan,
you got Chuck Jordan.
These are guys I'm playing with. You know what I mean?
Chuck, the guy.
Corey Brown was just a special guy.
Before it was before it started.
But look at this. He didn't even work on his game.
He didn't
at all.
He didn't
work.
He didn't have to.
He didn't have to.
That's just the crazy part. Just imagine if he did.
Imagine if he did.
And just imagine, you know, and a guy like Chuck, who was, you know,
to the pros without really working.
I mean,
as hard as
you could. And then the way he went was a blessing. Because it was for him.
And snap out of it. Back on track.
But
snap out of it.
There you go.
But you know, being like, you know, considering yourself to be the 4th best player on your high school team, if you're not on like Bannon and Carson at that time, you're not getting no scholarship.
Right.
You know, being able to go out and perform, and then I ended up getting bigger, you know, getting a little bit taller, you know.
Of course.
And acclimate myself to the game, but also going to school and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I feel good about that.
Where'd you end up? What college?
I was at Washington State. You know, played a couple years. Started for my sophomore year and my senior year. You know, had a couple injuries, and you know, the one thing I'm proud of, I was able to go pro in something.
Right.
But it wasn't football.
Right.
You know, and I've been working in education ever since. Doing it at Morningside and Inglewood High.
Giving back to the community. The community that you grew up in. That's the thing that I admired about, you know, when I had said, oh man, Chris works here. And, you know, I admired you, Teddy Johnson, people that grew up in the community and gave back to the community.
Me and TJ came in, we started working the same year.
Gotta get TJ in here, man.
We came in 92, so I've been, you know, pretty steady in the business since 92. So this I'm coming up on 30 years and doing this.
Oh yeah, that's a blessing, man.
I'm just happy, and I'll tell you one of the things that I've done, and I'm not gonna brag about myself. I mean, me and Todd joke about this all the time. I mean, I get awards and stuff like that.
Right.
But the biggest one that I got is you know, I'm not gonna say the name of a person. Somebody from the neighborhood. You know, we were at a game, and this is a guy that participated in other social groups that we associate with.
Right.
And you know, I want to make sure that when we're talking about this, you know, when people talk about Inglewood, you know, people gang banging and all that kind of stuff, people don't make you gang bang in Inglewood.
No.
Exactly.
They didn't make you do that.
Right.
And when, you know, when you saw dudes like, I'm gonna say Muggs,
that's my dude.
You forgot to mention.
I forgot
say dudes like KB,
and my boy KB. These dudes I know.
You know, K. Luke.
I know y'all know these dudes.
Come on now.
K. Lucas. I mean, these are the type of dudes. When they saw you, they wouldn't let you get involved.
Exactly.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you.
Me and Cameron talked about that way back in the podcast.
But when
they made sure you was on the right
home
track.
games though, home games you was proving you was at home.
Yeah.
Home games you was proving.
But they wouldn't let you do that sort of thing because they could see that you have some potential to do something more than that.
Yeah, bigger than that.
Yeah, they did.
So
and that was a plus for
sure.
So
we out there and I see him and you know I embrace him like
it's all love.
It's all love. And he got a son with him. And he said, hey, I want you to beat this dude, this Chris Motown and all this kind of stuff. And then he said, you know what? When you get older, I want you to be like a dude like this. And
wow.
And not like a dude like me.
Oh, that's special right there.
Right. So then
special.
It put that extra pressure on you. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized at that point that what I've done, and I've tried to share everything that I do with other people. You know, I don't big time nobody.
Right.
Stuff.
Yeah. Oh, always been down to earth.
Yeah. See, but it's other people that share your success.
Right.
And,
of course.
And there's people that still direct their kids the right way,
right.
even though their path might have not led that
way. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they make sure they keep their kids on the right path.
They keep them on the right path. So you know, I'm real happy that I've been able to navigate some of this stuff, and you know what, this bumpy roads for everybody, I've been able to maintain that for 30-something years.
Yeah, but I think
30 years.
I think they short-sighted Inglewood because we are loyal to Inglewood, and all of us sitting here are definitely that.
Yeah.
And we're all a testament to that. You know, we're committed to giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Trying to help the community
Yeah.
and move the community from.
And most importantly, when people say, when you go out of town, when somebody asks you where you from, you don't say that I'm from LA. Inglewood people say they from Inglewood.
You know, so funny. Cameron was pounding on my. He's like, Mac, you just don't get it, man. Inglewood is on the map.
We on the map.
No, he was saying it though. I guess I was a little naive
about it.
about
On the map. Now, if you make sure it's on the map.
They couldn't wait to announce,
from Inglewood, California.
No, one day, the very first game, they was like. And from Los Angeles, California.
No, I
remember on TV
I
when
went
they
over
put
there.
it,
I said, I'm from Inglewood.
You should know that. And that's the right thing.
You from our school, you should know that. Put Inglewood down there.
I was not happy to see.
Because you remember how they put the pictures up, and because he played for the Pac-10 back then, but it's 12 now. That his, I remember. Said
Inglewood?
But even back then, I was mad because I wanted to say Morning Time.
You didn't want to get twisted and everything. You went to Inglewood.
Right. But that's a whole different story.
I know.
That's a different show.
I know.
Yeah, you look forward to that. I was just telling him, and then I'm gonna let him close it for us. But Inglewood is just like the Bronx of New York, just like Compton is just like Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
When you speak of California City
and certain
Oakland,
names,
even Oakland, man, Oakland is known for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Some may not be that good, but
it's known. It's on the map.
It's on the map.
Right.
I mean, think about it. I mean, you got Cal Berkeley up there, Woodstock and all that stuff. But I'm proud of the city. And I'm glad
I'm in line.
Guys came in.
It was an honor.
This won't be the last time. I mean, we got so much history. And there's areas that I would love to just kind of, zero in on that I think will be helpful to our youth. See, that's very important, and it's always benefiting when young people can see where they came from.
Right.
See, that's the whole thing, And so, man, thanks for being here. I'm gonna throw it to Mac. Let him close us out.
I just want to say thank to these two guys for coming in and breaking bread with me and Cam. We got 4 brothers here.
Yeah.
and it's always good to break bread and to have that kind of camaraderie with people that you go back, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
People don't understand that, when you have those kind of relationships and people are still around, because we're getting older and, we got friends and loved ones who are passing away every day. Oh, just found out Anthony, he played football with me. He just died. He was a police officer. Anthony from the IBCs.
Anthony Johnson?
No, Anthony. I can't think.
You remember Big Bull?
Yeah.
He passed.
You're right. But there's another Anthony. Anthony White. He was class 85 with me. But anyway, Anthony White, he just passed away. Much love to his family. We're gonna keep you guys in our prayers.
Peace.
But that's what I'm talking about. When you got family who's been around for so long and we can do this type of thing, it's just a blessing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you guys are tuned in, and we're gonna have these guys on again.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and shut it down and go ahead and take the seatbelts off, guide the car and stop. We're gonna put it in park. Peace and love, guys.
Peace.
Yeah, man. Charley got skates
I'm over there roller skating.
Yeah, I got my skates in the trunk.